Hello, everybody. It's me, Matt, Eco, Jeff, whatever you want to call me. Um, so the video titled "We Need to Talk" is, you know, uh, I'm here to talk about myself and the game show community or Survivor community, like MC Survivor community, MCBB community, any type of game show community, even if whether it be strikeout like the challenge or whatever. Um, so I'm gonna have a lot of things that I'm gonna say. Like these are all my opinions, obviously, but for people who are in my Discord and everything, I'm done with game shows. I'm done. It, like if I come back, it's like things are solved, things change, people change, or like something that crazy happens, or I come back in a few years. People thought it was a joke at first. It's not. It's really not. I'm done. I'm done. And there's multiple reasons why. There's like I'm just not enjoying it right now. It's something I'm not enjoying when it's stuff to have fun. And my first reason why it's not fun anymore, number one, if you're a big name, like me, for example, NKS, Spongy from the Mumble community, or literally any big target, it's not fun. It's not. It's genuinely not fun right now because you don't even get to touch the end of the game, go near the end of the game, unless you're absolutely doing jack shit or you win out in immunities. That is the only way you can actually at least a little bit have fun in the game show, unless you're 100% happy being merge boot, being the second merge boot, and not getting to even try. And that, in reality, for big names or people like big names in the community, or people who are just known decently well, is not fun. It's not. Every game's a new game. That's what I think people should have a mindset for. But it's hard. It's hard to bring it back, like do it with recency bias. Because let's say, for example, it was me or Chillin' Cole getting voted out, or me or some guy who's like not doing shit. What are you gonna do? You're gonna vote me out. Why? Let's just say I haven't won an immunity yet that season. Second merge vote. You're gonna vote me out over the person who you don't really know what their past is, or you're gonna vote them out because you don't know them, and then you vote me next. Like, because the Survivor community or Game Show community isn't open to new people at all. They aren't willing to let new people get their time to shine, and that's something that's also wrong with the community. Like some people are like, okay, boom, autocast all the newbies, you're in, unless you've heard about them and there's issues, because some people, a lot of people have issues in the Survivor community or Game Show community, Big Brother community. But right now, I'm just gonna call it the Game Show community. Just so I don't have to say every single thing, like every single time. There's just being a newbie and then seeing a whole cast. Say, here's the best example: Jiv playing every single season of Tunics, except for like one season, and getting like fourth in almost every single season, and then get casted over newbie or somebody who's played once. Why? There's no reasoning. The like the like every time people cast right now or in the past, it's either off of okay, we're filled, we got enough people, or they have to make cuts, and whenever they make cuts, it's not most of the time they're dumb decisions. I think, at least in my opinion, because there's certain like communities in the game show, community and everything. I think some people have a better way of doing things than others. But most of them don't. They don't. Um, because the last thing that I played that I enjoyed was honestly Sam's the Challenge Season 7. That was the last thing I played that I even somewhat enjoyed in the game show community. Because, yes, I ended up winning. Yeah. You enjoyed it because you won. I enjoyed it because I didn't get my ass targeted every single time. Or like, oh, let's put him up on the, elimination thing. Even though nobody wanted to put me up on the elim. I literally just sat there for the whole game. I took, because it was skull scarcity, I took my skull and sat there. I didn't do shit. And I think that's what, I enjoyed it a little bit, but I didn't enjoy it, like, amazingly. I didn't get to do shit. At all. But it's just, it's, then I came back for Season 10 of the challenge, and I had to carry Metal Mine, and then I was stuck with Double and Jade, and I was like, I don't even want to play this season. Then we get to the end, having four people is worse than having two. That's an issue in the challenge, and especially in a team season. So I didn't enjoy that season at all. I didn't. But I get it. I get having past game knowledge in the same season or series. Like, say, for example, Llama Survivor, right? Peppet's 1-2. Oh man, Peppet's scary. Or, like, that's for if you've never played with him. But say, I've played with Peppet. I played with Peppet. Shit ton, everybody knows that. But I play Peppet with Peppet in one of the seasons, Seasons 9, for example. This is true. And we worked together. Like, we worked together. I didn't give a shit he was a winner because I was a winner. I just don't give a shit if somebody's won the same thing before. Like, you can work together with the good people. There's nothing that's saying you can't. Just be better. Or, for example, outplay them. Outplaying somebody is not saying, okay, Jeff has immunity ran this survivor, we should vote him out. Or he's immunity ran before, or he's won immunities in the past. Of course I've won immunities. Everyone's won immunities. If you haven't won an immunity, what are you doing? At least that's my opinion on that stuff. If you haven't won an immunity, sorry, I'm not trying to roast you. But, yeah. It's just not been enjoyable at all. Being a big name for the past, few months? 8 months? I'll say 8 months. Because in the past, so I started in November 2019. I've gotten about 40, 45 wins in game shows over the past year and a half or so, even more. Almost on 2 years. So, yeah. It's kind of just, like, there's no, like, for me, winning's still important because I try my best and I want to do my best, but it's kind of hard with that. And then you have, my next issue is the people who somewhat care but don't care for being there. There's massive issues with this in the community with people like metavacking or, on their phone the whole time or playing 8-ball and then double idling themselves out because they wanted to go home. But you sign yourself up for like 7 hours of doing the game show. Shit happens. You get that. That's completely understandable. But then there's people who just like, I can't deal with it anymore. I'm gonna go. I'm bored. Like, come on. Like, that's an issue, people have. Still, metavacking for absolutely for being bored is complete dog shit, and everybody knows that. Because there's so many people that could have played over you, but whatever. Like, the host already just get rid of them, or just say, okay, we're not going to cast them for a while. So at least there's a solution to that, but there's no solution to somebody or people who's not trying to talk to everybody. They're just sticking with what they know already. Like that's an issue. Obviously, I'm not trying to point out what's happened in the past week. This is what I've seen over the past year, and it's stuck because people know that I'm friends with Pepe. People know I'm friends with Sam K. And then I get stuck and put in a cool corner where it's like I have to work with them, or I'm doomed. And then people were like, "Why did you work with them?" Because you didn't give me a shot to work with you. It's the same thing for all the big names. Like I've felt bad for NKS the past few months because being the huge name that he is, people just vote him out just because he's NKS. He can Unity run at any single point. Oh no. Whatever. Just like, so what? Just he hasn't proved it yet in that game. Maybe after one or two immunities, sure he can immunity run. Sure he can win a lot of immunities. But before merge, nah, I ain't having that shit. Especially when they're helping you win challenges. Yeah, no. Now that's just called throwing and being an asshole. Yeah, like I get it sometimes because I'm super hard on people with challenges, especially because I'm like, 'cause I know how to do shit, and I get put on a team of people who can't do anything or just aren't that good at the game, it's frustrating for myself because when you have to rely on others, that aren't at the same skill level as you, it's the same thing for every other game. You just get frustrated when they can't do something specifically. I know I have issues with that sometimes. It's happened a few times now, but at the end of the day, it's a game. People are trying to enjoy for fun. People need to get that too. I need to understand that more myself a little bit as well. Like I'm not completely saying that I'm ignorant of shit that I know of or don't know of. It's we as a community need to fix shit as a whole as well. Like we need to make ourselves better because I know somebody pointed this out to me a few weeks ago. I've got me and Hannah. We're okay now. We're okay now, but they pointed out that Celeste they get in and it's the same people every time, and it's they just vote them out because they're not a part of their group or their it's gonna sound like a dick thing for me to say this, or they're straight. That's some reasonings I've gotten for people with playing Gameshow sometimes too. It's like they're like the person like some people are just completely weird about it. Just like, oh wait, they're straight. Let's vote them out. What? That's not a reason. Like, I don't get some of these people at all. It's very strange with that stuff. It's weird. There's some reasonings that make absolutely no sense and will never make sense to me. But yeah, that's what point 2 I have. Point number 3, I have that we need a fix. That the Gameshow community needs a fix. We need to just get better at being nicer as a whole and less toxic. That's a big issue. When it shouldn't be, but that's the internet for you. That's the internet. Being nice just isn't simple. It's not. People come out on here, they want to get their rage out because that's how people vent, Everybody has a different way to vent, but taking shit out on others, going super hard on them, I know I go super hard on sometimes on people in Survivor. I've done that in the past. I know of it. But that's because the people aren't trying in the game. I really care for when people try and stuff because, we're putting hours and hours of work. And then for the people who put hours and hours of work behind, practicing and getting better at stuff, it sucks to see somebody not trying. That's just my opinion on that. If you're just playing to, have fun, but at least you're trying, are completely cool. completely. For example, like Don Cheadle, he's a big memer, but he's trying. He's you can't tell he's trying, but he is trying super hard. That's just an example for you. Yeah, it's the goats. It's get out. It's time to get out and take charge. Don't be afraid of being over the top or whatever, or like, oh no, I'm gonna get targeted. You need a big move at the end of the game to 100% assure that you win, or you need a big move to match somebody else's big move. Don't just be chill with your alliance and then think you're gonna be fine making it to the end. No. Vote out the lead of it, and then make yourself the lead. Like, there's so many things that you can do to do that. But people don't want to change their mindsets or change how they play the game or change anything at all. Because most people play the same way every time. One of the people who does that the most, chill and cool, Duckweed. Duckweed's gotten better at it though. He's gotten better at playing the game. So at least Duckweed's improving, chill and cool's not. Who else always plays the same thing every time and is mostly GOAT whenever I see them? Let me just, scroll through Discord. Who's usually GOAT for people? I mean, it depends on your season and everything who's in it, but from what I'm seeing, like it's usually the same people who GOAT every single time, but that's just me. I'm not gonna give any examples. I think those two examples are pretty fine for that. It's just, you gotta try. Don't just go for the person or be like, oh no, I owe you for helping me win last game. I'm gonna mindlessly GOAT for you this game. I know one person who's said that to me multiple times. Sam K, sorry to call you out, but don't mindlessly GOAT for me, man. Try to beat my ass in the game, like, fairly, like, not using past knowledge and shit. Wasn't trying to call you out, Sam, but like, it's just stuff we gotta fix as a whole. And being nicer is also just another like good step to making the community better. Because if we open up our arms to anybody and everybody, then people wouldn't be afraid of talking to people. Because at first I started playing Survivor to solve my social anxiety, because you couldn't see my face. You couldn't tell if I was lying or not through my lips, because it was just text messages and orgs and stuff. But orgs lately not been fun. I haven't had any fun at all, because people are so inactive, because life just takes up every second of your day. And orgs, there's a whole challenge thing for a day, a tribal thing for a day. It doesn't work out. It doesn't for most people. And they put things on past shit too. It's not just the Gameshow community. It's a lot of stuff, like orgs, other things. That's at least from what I'm seeing, because of Org C. If you know what Org C is, it's basically a bunch of survivors packed into one, and it's like a hub. But yeah, just some things are fine there, some aren't, but it's not a topic I would rather care about, because yeah, whatever. Next topic, number 4, friend grouping. But I'm not friend grouping. The biggest friend grouping people in the community is not even the people in the Gameshow community. It's the people of the Mumble community. It really is. Because NKS was doing something amazing to try to open up the lines in the Mumble community by taking over Imperial for a season and then inviting 10 people not from that and then 10 people from it to see what happens. Because we need that type of testing. Because, say, for example, there's a thing called Aeonian or Zobi or something like Ambition. Say you were to join that, you're like one of 3 people who hasn't played the season before, and most people have played like 20 seasons, or they always play with each other. You're instantly fucked. Like, You don't even get a chance. The minute you lose, unless somebody does something completely stupid, you're gone. You're gone. It doesn't matter who you are. You just don't even get the chance because you haven't done shit with them in the past. It's insane. But a lot of people are like, you know, crucial to friend grouping. The only time I most like sometimes friend group, and I admit to it, um, is when there's people in the cast I don't like. There's people I just don't get along with, and that's the people who are insanely bitchy and whiny, or they're just insane, and aren't cool, aren't good people genuinely, like super toxic, not fun. Um, there's multiple cases of this. People will probably have all their different opinions of people. I'm not gonna say names because what's the point? What's the point in saying names? I could say names like for example, in most recent Explo Sam season 11 of the challenge, he casted like Noah, every person of like the person that was in their tribe in a game, and it was not fun at all. The same whatever happened was whatever they wanted, and it didn't fucking matter. And I was just done and didn't want to play, so I was just like, fuck it, let me just lose this shit and be done. Because just wasn't fun, and the twist was boring too. But like that example from Grim, no. Like that's like I can admit to it too, because friend grouping not fun. Like some people will maybe like, oh, but you never give the new people a chance. My chance that I give people, number one, is how you talk to me, and if it's like the beginning of the season and you're on my tribe, your chance is right there. Challenge. Prove to me that you're worth keeping. Go out there and try to compete. Try to not be complete dog shit at parkour. Like that's the only chance when people walk out the door by me not really giving them a chance is when they just suck at the challenge. Because that's the best thing to base somebody off of straight off in the beginning of Survivor. You suck at the challenge? Sorry. I don't want to go back to another tribal. Or if you're a friend grouper, oh, he's gonna win this game. Goodbye. Like there's so many different mindsets you can fucking have, but some people just don't like having the game be played like fun, especially for newbies and stuff. But yeah, there's some people just like that just really want to get casted and stuff. In their like newbies and stuff. Like there's some hosts that are good at casting and then like they consistently do it. And some people, but then there's some people that like they're co-host and then they get to pick people and then they just pick like 3 complete randoms that are just gonna be first boots. I'm just like, okay, you kind of could have like let him do that and then you pick like important people. Or like people that will make it far, especially if it's like it's gonna be a good season. There's so many more different ways to cast stuff, but we just need to, get better at accepting new people and giving them a shot. Like even if that is 2 challenges and then whatever, like you just got to give them a little bit of a shot, man. Don't let somebody's influence just get all over you and be like, Pepe on tribe, Pepe decent. But there's somebody worse than him. Who do we vote out? Oh, we vote out Pepe. No. Unless Pepe does something drastic with a person that instant that does something drastic. You probably shouldn't ever, really. But that's just me. My opinion. Let's get into number 5. And this doesn't have to relate to, like, game show, like, Survivor, social stuff, but hosting. When people just disrespect what you build and put your time in, and they just, complain and just dog shit over everything, it makes hosting and putting that effort and putting time in just not fun. Like, there's some challenge ideas that are complete shit, and I'll voice my opinions. Like, I say stuff myself, too. Because if you just put ladder endurance in, you're lazy. You really are. No offense. We all know ladder endurance is the most lazy thing that you could possibly do. It's the same thing with parkour endurance, where you're just like jumping around a 4 blocks. And I've done that in the past. I know it. It's just something that you throw in because you're running out of challenges. But that's also because you can put time in to actually try and not host weekly or bi-weekly. Like, you could host once a month to put out a great product that people will enjoy, because there's so many other hosts out there. There's so many other hosts. So let them host like once a month or like twice a month, but like let it be a good product. Tunic, shout out to Tunic. I told him you got to get a good product out there. He put a good ass product out there this last season. He took my advice, took what I said, took it to heart, and made it and built and actually gave a shit. And that season was dope. Like, the more work you put into a season, the better it gets. Like, yeah, people still complained and shit, but like, at least it's not like ladder endurance, where you just sit there and just go WWW. Oh wait, Belliard's just gonna win. I know that's hard to get out of your head for ladder endurance, but once again, you can't really target for ladder endurance because people don't really include it anyway. Because that's ladder endurance isn't fun. That's once again my opinion. There's some people like Belliard who really enjoy it. And yeah, I know I'm also a person for complaining about some things or how people host. Or, I try to give tips and stuff to people who are starting. But mainly, like, so I know sometimes I complain. I'm like, here I am. I'm opening up the shit too. Like, I'm not just like saying your opinion's wrong. Your opinion's wrong. No, we just got to get better at stuff. At like being like respectful towards the host, being respectful to the decisions, whatever it may be. Even though sometimes it might be stupid, yeah, you can call them out on that for something being like mad stupid. Say like, okay, boom, this person's back in the game because this person left. Like, huh? What? Like, there's some things you can argue. It's that one's more give and take. But if somebody puts like 2 days, 3 days worth into a project, maybe even a week. And I mean that like 2 days, like 48 hours. You better be respectful. You better listen. There's tons of people who have listening issues in Survivor. They say, "Shut up! No, wait, hey, yo, what you doing over there, bro? What are you doing?" Like, listen to the host, please. Like, I think every host in the comments will be like, "Thank you for saying this at this time point." Just listen. You want this game to be sped up? Listen. You want this game to, like, you want to be able to hear everything? Just listen. Tell people to listen. Tell people to shh in the chat. Like, this is such a basic thing, and it's really weird that I gotta point it out, but I have to. Because people don't listen. Like, it is so hard. Because it took me, like 10 minutes to get people to listen for the mumble thing? Holy fucking shit. People cannot shut their mouths when, events are going. What other issues do I have? Huh. I think another issue in the community is not, I think it's kind of being, it's rare, but I've seen in some people that being in survivor mode 24/7, and we gotta like detach ourselves from it. Like, I used to be in that mode 24/7, so I know it. It's like, oh, do I trust people? Like it even affected me in real life, to the point where I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Why can't I trust this person when I'm just trying to trying to pay for my food? Do I trust them to not take my bag? It's a fucking grocery store. Like, we gotta take some time to disconnect and stuff. Game shows aren't everything, life's out there too, you gotta do that. I am obviously one of those people who took and take game shows seriously, where it's like, okay, I'm playing every weekend, boom, or every weekend that I can, boom. Like, man, that's too much. Like, I've cut down over the past year, like one time a weekend, or if like two if the hosts are really good, or I had a positive interaction the last day or something. It's it's rough out there. It's rough for Survivor right now. I mean, people that I've talked to are confused about why the recorded series and stuff aren't getting aren't huge like elite curses and stuff. Once again, I wasn't around for that stuff. I wasn't. So I don't know what you're talking about, but like the series not bringing in players, it's because whenever it does bring in players, new people, we just be like shoo. Like that, and the people who are doing recordings right now, like the people that I know, Cav and Llama, they're putting it out there. They're putting in the effort, but some people just don't got the time to watch like 40-minute episodes of they want to watch Minecraft Survivor. Like the most people that watch it are the players themselves because they want to see themselves in the season. They want to see this themselves like getting out there, or people who like are friends with the people. Hey, yo, watch this, man. Or people who are avid watchers of the previous series. But with Llamas, that's not a thing. But with Cavs, that is. I don't know how many views Cavs is getting right now, but I don't know how much it is. I think he just cares about putting out a good product and being respectful of the people who played, and putting it up if it was a good season. And I completely get like looking back at it, I can completely forgive for him making 5.5 because that was a bunch of bullshit. It just hurt on the time because 17 hours and shit. Whew. Yikes, man. Yikes. I'm cursed when it comes to recorded, so stuff happens. But I don't think there's much else to add. But I'm done with game shows for at least a while. At least hosting. No, I ain't gonna do it. Like if anything, you want to play some hardcore Minecraft? Sure, I'm gonna be putting out like streams on Twitch because I want to get back into doing Twitch because before into the Survivor game shows and stuff, and before that I was a decently big Twitch streamer with like 3,000 followers and stuff. I was getting 30 viewers a day like there in 2017. So that's mainly where I'm gonna be for people who actually want to give a shit. Because at the same time I'm quitting game shows here, I'm quitting orgs and people from the orgs communities. But I was friends with so many people there. They don't give a shit about me. So at least thank you to the people who decided to give a shit about me and like my mental health and everything. Like you guys are real ones. It means a lot. It honestly does. Because not having any friends in real life, you would think people would be your friend here, because you can relate on that stuff, but nope. People once you're not of use to somebody, out the window. Like I've gotten people thanking me for just being a part of the community. I'm like, I haven't done much, man. I just hosted stuff and tried to take things seriously. But yeah, I had people thanking me and like not wanting me to leave, but it's I just need to move on because with my life now, I've been taking a gap semester for like college and stuff. Probably gonna end up taking a gap year, but right now I'm more focusing on nutrition and losing weight, because that's two important things that need to happen right now to maybe give me some friends in real life, or maybe change my confidence level, because my confidence level as a computer is high, but you see me walking out that door, my knees are shaking. My knees are very nervous and stuff, Does this mean the end of the Decoding podcast? No, it doesn't. I think what I've been thinking about for a while. I think I want to turn the podcast into still talking with people sometimes, but mainly I just want to do things with sports, especially for like fantasy football and football in general, or like basketball, or potentially fantasy basketball when that comes back. I think that's something I really want to do, because I'm a big sports person, and I'm studying sports management in college and stuff. So having a sports podcast would be cool, but it's not just sports. It's me giving updates on my real life. It's what's going on, because I don't I also want to get into YouTube, but I don't know how to edit, and you know it's that's an issue because I don't really want to take the time to edit either. Like, I'd rather pay somebody to edit for me or something. Because I'm not a good editor. I mean, I haven't really given it a shot, but it seems difficult. And I'd rather just be like highlights of streams and stuff, and then the people just take the profit for the video whenever it starts getting profits, or like, yo, you can get profits from my Twitch or something. If somebody wants to make a deal like that, let me know. Even if you just want to try just testing editing, it would be cool because I'm just it's my dream to be a content creator and everything. So like bouncing off of the Survivor stuff, like my dream is to entertain people, and that's a big thing of me getting the game shows and stuff. Because I put on a role, I entertained. I think I think I made positive impacts on some people, made people smile, made people enjoy their time playing my game show. But sometimes entertaining it just gets weird with the whole game shows and stuff. So yeah, I will be posting updates on my Discord. That link will be in the description. Same thing with my Twitch. And same thing on Twitter. If you want to know when streams are live, same thing. It's the same thing with the Discord. Streams will be posted with Twitter and through Discord. So yeah, if you want to try to keep up with me there, cool. But for the people who are from the Gameshow community, and then you're gonna say goodbye to Jeff. It's time. Yeah, I'll still be posting every now and then. If I do get back in the game shows, you'll see through my Discord. So yeah, I hope you guys take the opinions I said to heart and about the Gameshow community and everything, because stuff needs to be fixed for people to enjoy it, and just to be nice to people. Because being nice to people is just so important. I know that's what I'm changing the most. It's something I need to get better at, and not like tell people off and shit, or be like, oh, look at this dumbass. I'm gonna be nicer, and that's what I'm gonna do. So thank you guys for watching. Be better people, be nice, and enjoy what you want to do. See you guys.